welcome to Pint-Sized OCR, the only podcast in the world dedicated to junior obstacle course racing and produced by UK OCR. And here's your hosts, Libby Joyce and Finlay Greenleaf.
Welcome to a pint-sized podcast, portioned and perfectly prepared, plus properly and professionally presented and processed to practically perfection. Oh my God, he did it first time.
the amount of practice that you did that beforehand as well.
Everyone, I was
got that
sweating.
Spot on.
Come on, that's got us off to a good start. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, we're back. It feels like it's been a while, even though it hasn't.
Yeah, it has.
I feel like that's always the case. It feels like a while, but we've had two big maid races, haven't we? That's come up. So we'll start off by saying well done to the juniors that were at the OCR Games.
Yes, there's a lot of juniors there, of course. Ollie, Emmy, and I think it was Flynn as well.
Yeah, Flynn. So there was a good turnout, I think, from the previous years. But I think the turnout overall was really, really good.
Yeah, and it certainly wasn't an easy day either. Of course, such a long day, so many activities, and the final race, and of course, the heat was absolutely horrendous.
Oh, it was so good. And I do want to say as well, I'm not going to big me out, but I think for me and Emmy, we kind of found it a little bit harder. Mainly because we just literally came back from Morzine with the altitude.
Yeah.
I don't think we thought we could do it, but I don't think we gave ourselves the right amount of recovery to get back into the normal altitude that we're used to.
I mean, it definitely wasn't my best performance. I don't really know what was worse. My performance at OCR Games or that Australian breakdancers routine, honestly. I don't know if was worse. But they were both pretty dreadful.
That was funny.
Yes, yeah. But
that keeps popping up on my TikTok and Instagram and everything.
Everything's come up with that, isn't it? But,
oh, jeez.
But yeah.
I had one pop up the other day, and it was the Australian, and then was a dog rolling on its back. And it looked so similar, I'm not going to lie.
I don't want to get all political here, but it breaks my heart when we fight so hard, we train, and we're not in the Olympics. So I turn on the TV, seeing true, I think of the Olympics, athleticism, strength, and I turn it on and my heart breaks a little bit. I'm just like, you think they get the same medals as these athletes on the track who've trained for years and years and years, and it hurts a little. Like, I want to be out there. She just got to jump around like a kangaroo, got to go to Paris. I remember. The thing is, we're Brits. France is right next to us. Doesn't seem that big of a deal. She got all the way from Australia. Put that into context. All the way from Australia. And it's one of the last events of the Olympics as well. So it's right at the end of all these days. She's got to watch all these amazing events. Pretty much free because she's at the village. It's her time to shine. And she hops and jumps like a kangaroo. So yeah, it does break my heart a little seeing that. And then seeing us not at the Olympics. But obviously 28, part of the pentathlon. And there's rumours for Brisbane 32. So we can hope. I'll be old by then, and that kind of hurts. But there you go.
Oh God. But yeah, I think. But we've not gonna lie, we've done quite well at the Olympics.
Yes, yeah, it was a good Olympics for us. I mean, position-wise, wasn't the best in the end, but in terms of medals, quite a few. So yeah, it was good Olympics, and hopefully some of our listeners, some of the younger listeners, will be there in a couple of years' time.
Hopefully, but yeah, it will be nice to see OCR in 2028.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it's not a known sport, I think it'll be really nice to see it still. So
I might get very excited at the TV. Oh my God, Mum, they said it. They said OCR. That'd be me like a little child. They said it. I did that sport. They said it on the TV. That's what I'm like when I watch football. Still, I watch my local team.
We'll be 20. Will we be 21?
Yeah, I'll be 20, coming to 24 at Brisbane potentially. So, Jesus.
Be little kids screaming at the TV.
That concerns me though, because the amount of time to get Olympic sport, by the time it's in, I could be 28. That concerns me. 24, 28. I'm frightened. But we've come off track now.
Move on.
This has come from an analogy by OCR Games. This is how far we've gone. We just get distracted. OCR Games. wasn't for me, sadly, this year. See, I'm really sad about this because it really upset me at the time. But I can't stop laughing now because of this. But I am generally upset. I was.
I love how we just went from the OCR games to a lady jumping like a kangaroo.
Yes, I know. This is why this podcast is so random and it's explosive and full of just nonsense at points, just creative nonsense. I don't know, but yeah, it was a really good event at OCR Games. Obviously, had a lot of youth out there. It sadly didn't work out for me.
No.
Injuries
Do you
started to be a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little injured coming into it, but it's very much, oh yeah, I can fight through. Yeah, I'll be fine. And it kind of led to my first major injury in my career, really. I've never had that before, being sidelined for so long. I think since then I've been out for had a week's rest. And I thought, yeah, I feel better. I came back in. Yeah, I weren't ready. Another 3.5 weeks rest, physio, all sorts. And yeah, it hits you mentally because I love my
Yeah.
sport. I love being out there. I love running, and not just running itself. Because I go to a club, I've got a community, people I chat to. It's a social thing as well. And you lose that
Yeah.
routine that you've known for so long. It's like the building blocks of your life, having that routine. And when it breaks down, I just felt just lost, just sitting at home being bored. And
Yeah.
it's
I think
rough.
I don't think this weekend helped either, did it?
Yeah, watching along. I was sad just watching, but
Oh.
yeah, and it's a big thing for the juniors listening as well. Injuries, you can prevent many of them by stretching, we say sometimes, but you can't prevent everything. Injuries can occur
No.
out of nowhere, and I learned that, and you've really just got to try and push and pull through. And I'm always a positive person, but it was really hard to try and pull through. It was just like such a bam hit to the system, and like
Yeah.
obviously with Costa Rica coming up, things like that, I really wanted, and it still affects me now because I wanted to train. I'm not fully fit yet. I'm getting there now. I'm almost back, but I wanted this time to be able to train and push. But instead, I've been trying to
Yeah.
just fix myself, and I'm going to try and just get rid of a bit of ring rust and focus again. But yeah, it's frustrating, but it's a part of sport, and we just need to get through it.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's not good to have the injuries at all. I think it's very downright, but sometimes I always say things happen for a reason.
Yeah. Well, I'll
So,
tell you a little story. Sorry, and this is something that made
yeah,
me feel a bit better because if anyone knows Archie Gray, footballer, plays for Spurs now, but he has a younger brother, Harry Gray, and he's 15, and he finally got to break into the Leeds United first team. He in pre-season played with the first team, huge chance for him, 15 years of age, and he got injured. And he put something on his Instagram and said, "Yep, I'll be back in 2025." It must be so heartbreaking because you're the edge success there. You're pre-season in the team, you play well, you're in for the season. That's
yeah,
big. That's a career as well. Football, the money in it, that is his career. That's his family support. Obviously, he's got his brother as well and his grandfather. But that must hit so hard because all your dreams just in that moment, bam, gone as he was so close. So it really can be
yeah,
heartbreaking.
yeah. It's not nice
Yeah.
because then you'll have to watch people do what you love to do. I think for younger generations, most people will some at some point will get some form of injury, even if it's like a little injury
Hmm.
where they have to just not do one race or they've got another big race coming up and they can't do a race. I
Hmm.
think it's also good to have that sit back and watch people do your sport. I know it's hard, but sometimes it's like, okay,
Yeah.
just need to chill for a minute.
And there's one thing I really, really struggle with. And I think juniors, you really want to get this out of you. And I really struggle to myself. And that's always thinking, what if? What if I didn't get injured? And even in races, what
Yeah,
if I hit that bell? What if I pushed a bit more there? And I struggle, even when races are done. You need just to say, right, it's done, it's in the past. But I really struggle to
yeah,
do that. And well, what if I didn't put my foot there and that's where I caught my ankle, and that's where I got caught? Things like that. It can mess with your mind. You need just to let it go and say that's the past. And I know me just saying that can't just make you think that because that's what I
yeah.
feel. I say to myself, I need to not think this, yet I still do.
You
So
still don't.
it's so
Yeah.
tough balancing mental, physical, all sorts. It's a real challenge, but there you go.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you're right there. You need to like not always be, oh, okay, I could have done this or I could have done that. It's sometimes you're like, okay, what have I done well in the race?
Yeah, exactly. You need to
So
focus on positives and build.
it's good to look at the points of where you go, okay, if I did this, this could have happened. But there's also things that you need to go, okay, I've done this, which then got me to this. And I've done this, and this helped me go there. This was good in my race.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do need to look at the, okay, if I did this, this could have happened, or
Yeah.
I've done this well.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
you want to build on the mistakes, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't let them eat away at you. That's the worst thing possible. And I'll say that as someone who's gone through that time after time, especially when I was younger as well. I'm really trying to get rid of it. You just can't let that happen.
Yeah.
This was really glum now.
It's good to have these little bits of
yeah, we need to be fair.
need to do this, but I think let's get back into
let's get our rhythm.
Obviously we had Spartan weekend just gone, so the what was it, 11th I want to say, so we've had that just gone, and we didn't have, sadly there was no kids race because Spartan was only on the Sunday. They had Tough Mudder on the Saturday, Spartan on the Sunday. So we had no kids race, but we did have some podiums in the 14 to 17, and we also had the series race. That was the final series race, so we also had podiums for that.
Yeah. Shall I take it away?
Go ahead.
Let's go then. So the 14 to 17, I was going to say boys, but it's really the men, isn't it? At that age, coming up to it. Before I start, I want to apologise in case I make any mistakes here, because I know I probably will. I just looked at the results and now I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to apologise for this because let's just go. So anyway, third place from the UAE is Naja Alamani. So well done to him. Great job. Second from Belgium, Levi Nielsen. But the gold medal going to the one and only home soil. The Brit takes it. Oliver Addy, congratulations. He takes the title. Bam. And then we've got the 14-17 women.
Females.
And female. So yes, there we go. Bam, in second place. It's another international from Switzerland. It's Anouk Blazer who took the second place. But the gold, once again, British on British soil. Amelia Solomon takes the gold. Of course, been on the podcast before, talked about OCR, and she's out there succeeding. So there you go.
So sadly, I cannot find the results for this series race. So I can't find results. So I know a couple. So I know who came first in the females, first in the males, and third in the males. I cannot find the people who came second in the females. No, I don't think there was actually any seconds. I think it was just the first lady, and then I can't find the person who came second in the males. So sorry for whoever that was. I have tried to find it, just can't find it. So in the women, so Emmy won the overall females. So she did I'm gonna change the word.
Phenomenon. Sorry.
My brain is not working. So she did amazing to get that, and I think she deserved it really well. And then Ollie won the males overall. And then I do know that Josh Cox, so Joe's son, came third in the overall series. So well done to all of them, and well done to everyone else who raced the series races. But yeah, I can't find the second male, so sorry for whoever that is.
Whoever you are, we shout you out. Well done. Good job. Pat on the back.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was the 14 to 17s overall for the series, and then for the sprint as well. So yeah, I think it was a good turnout for the 14 to 17s.
What was the course like as well out there?
Flat.
No.
Yeah, it was flat. It was not muddy, grass, flat as anything. And I'm not gonna lie, it was quite a good course because you basically kind of went out, turned around, come back up one like good couple of 100 meters, and then you're at the finish. So when you're running down, you can see the people running back up towards the event village, which I think was quite good because then you could go, okay, they're there. And the bucket carry, oh my God, longest bucket carry I've ever seen in my life. No, take that back. Longest bucket carry I've ever seen in the UK.
Yeah.
It was long.
And I mean, like,
long.
I remember Wales. I remember Spartan in Wales. That bucket was off because like little mini waterfalls
Yeah.
going down like the mountain. That was a killer. But yeah, I tell
Yeah.
you what. So it was flat. You say was it?
Yeah.
No wonder the Belgian guy did well. They're all flat round there. I mean, I swear when
Yeah.
Worlds in Belgium, that's probably the only hills ever been in Belgium. Surely, very flat country and very.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you can see the times are rapid as well. For the course
Yeah.
that I got on my watch was 3.9 miles. So 3.90 miles. So almost 4 miles. And look at the times.
Yeah.
But rapid.
What was the train then? Just quite hardish grass, dirty kind of thing to get.
Yeah,
get
it was
pace
just
on?
kind of like hard grass. It was like
Yeah, nice.
it was quite nice to run on. If you wanted to do a quick course, that was 100% a course that you could go quick on.
Do you reckon you get away with road shoes then? If it was quite hard in most places, do you reckon that maybe a foot lock
I
kind
don't
of break
know.
them? I've got a pair. I've learnt the hard way. I once went running shoes like.
The only proper muddy bit I'd say was the barbed wire.
Oh yeah, that's gonna cost you.
The
You ever
barbed
seen it? We go
wire
to races and you see like.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I wouldn't say it was a hard barbed wire. It's one of them. It was quite funny actually because all the women when I was running around, we all kind of got into a really quick pace, and then out of nowhere, bam, barbed wire crawl, and it kind of just slowed us all down out of our rhythm.
Yeah, I think it was Italy, the first Italy Euros. Remember, it was my wave for the age cap. It all went sprinting off, and I was right at the front.
Oh yeah.
And the net was right there after the wall, and we all went bah! We all just got stuck, and we went from
You all kind of
big
just got
rivals
stuck
to
in
like
it.
let's help each other out here. We're all just stuck. I think I was trying to stand up, but I was like just stuck in there, just prisoned. It was
Yeah.
But yeah, so no road shoes wouldn't work now.
Probably not. I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend.
But I say you go to races, don't you? See people with like white, clean shoes on, just flat. Like you just think, oh, you're in for a long day.
Yeah. Like you get the people with the white shirts on, and you're like, oh, that's a smart idea because like you're gonna see how much mud you get on the white shirt, and like that's what most people would wear for like charity races and all that. But I'm not gonna lie, white shoes.
Only just flat shoes. Any shoes that look very casual.
I feel sorry for them. Yeah, it's not.
That'll be a challenge, wouldn't it? Spartan Beast and sliders. Could you do it? Or some flip flops?
I'm really tempted to run a Spartan race in Crocs. Like just for a fun one. Fun one. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, with the water and there's a swim. You come out. Oh no, I've lost a Croc. You just come out the water.
No, you put them in sports mode.
I put them in sports mode. Yes, of course. Yeah. Don't think. I need more Crocs.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, I've only had one pair of Crocs in my life, and it's when I was very young. And I lost them first day at the beach. I left them at the beach. The thing is, the beach is there, and there's concrete between that and the car park. Somehow I got to the car, completely unaware, my feet were on concrete, and then I was like, oh, I've lost my Crocs. That's the only Crocs I've ever had. Never had any since. I'm a sliders person now. But
I got Crocs and sliders.
Yeah. I need Crocs. There you go.
I really want to get a pair of them fluffy Crocs. I've seen them. You can get Crocs with fluff in them now.
How have we got here? How have we done this? But there you go, man. You've been caught up. We've gone OCR, Olympics, kangaroos, Crocs and kangaroos. There's an episode title for you. There it is, Crocs and kangaroos. It's probably the least OCR thing you probably hear, but there you go.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I think that's it for the first section.
Yeah, that's pretty much hopefully everything covered. If we missed anything, whoops. But that's all we got to say, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the end of it.
Yeah. Well, guys, don't leave us because we've still got an interview coming up. So don't think, oh, that's the end. I'm gonna turn it off now before I hear the outro.
No, yeah.
Stay. Listen.
It's like telling a dog.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say to our audience. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not telling you to listen. I'm advising you to listen because what you're about to hear in the interview is going to be great. So
yeah,
stick around.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
go.
See you in a sec.
Today's episode is brought to you in association with our partner, Unitree Pump UK. As athletes, we travel a lot, and sometimes it's impossible to find a gym nearby. That's where Unitree Pump comes in. It's a resistance training machine that offers you a gym experience in an easy-to-carry package. perfect for road trips. It has a built-in motor that offers you a smooth resistance training experience similar to a cable machine, and its customizable resistance allows you to get in an all-body strength workout whenever you need it. It's not just for road trips either. It's so easy to use that it's perfect for when you need to get a quick workout in at home. So head over to www.unitreefitness.co.uk and use code UKHXR to grab yourself a discount. That code again is UKHXR. Unitree Pump. Workout wherever you are.
There you go, just like that. We're back after that quick little break.
Yep. We're
Wow.
back. Ready, Finn? Go on, you do your little intro.
Yeah, we've got interview time now. So
Yeah.
everyone, be ready because we have a very special guest today. She's been a world champion in Spartan, a British champion, and an OCR world champion. She trains, she runs, she races, and repeats. The only question I have is how does she have time to sleep? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Louise Ferriman to the podcast.
Hi guys. I love your intro, Finley. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
This is the thing, I don't do intros anymore because I'm like, yeah, Finn, I'm not going to top Finn's intros.
They're never going to
at
stack
all.
up to that, are they?
No, never.
Yeah, welcome.
But yeah, we'll get started. So obviously, Lou, you are one of the most amazing people in OCR that I know because of how much dedication you've put into it. And I think for the junior side as well, you've put so much into it. Like obviously your facility, your little junior team. I think every race I go now, I always see your top. I think it's one of them things now you just kind of just see it.
Yeah, it's been fun. My love for OCR is kind of this, individual to start with, and obviously the little one, my two boys watching me from the very start, and it just grew and grew, and just being able to kind of be part of the foundation for grassroots of the sport. I mean, just you guys are inspirational to the kids, and as adults, we want to be as well. And at the end of the day, when it hopefully comes into the Olympics, or there's sort of more going on in the world with OCR, I'm going to be way too old to compete. So it's going to be all about you guys, all about the the youngsters coming through. And I just love being part of that. I love seeing what OCR has done for George and Henry, and what it can do to so many children. I think there's such a big focus in this country on team sports and on sort of big football, rugby, hockey, and netball, and my boys didn't really fall into those categories. And I found OCR really late in life, but I just think the opportunities and the way that OCR kind of uses your whole body, it breaks up running, the way it just ticks so many boxes, so many children, is really exciting. And it's really accessible now as well with the both parts and stuff like that. Yes, it's exciting to be able to put my passion and what I love doing, but also be able to do it with my kids.
Yeah. So obviously you just said you got into OCR quite later in your life. How did you actually get into OCR?
So I was an ultra runner, really. I was running marathons, ultra marathons, trail marathons. I was doing kind of classic challenge, stuff like that. I was running 100-mile races. And when I had Henry's my fourth child, and I think everyone knows that George got very, very sick, and it all just became too much trying to run that much mileage and kind of keep being good at what I was doing. And I just needed a little bit of a kind of a change and a bit of a break from that kind of insane mileage. And I'd been training down at Immortal Fitness in Marlow with some guys, and they were entering Nuts Challenge, win some nuts. And I had no idea what I signed up for. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And I kind of rocked up in March, I think probably 2018, 2019, one of those years, and I can't remember. And I did 4 laps, win some nuts, having never done an OCR in my life. Nearly died of hypothermia, and I had blood literally pouring out of just every part of my body. I ripped all my skin. It was hilarious. I mean, luckily I had an engine, and so I just got on and did it, and I actually won it, and I qualified to the European Championship. And I remember 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from Dave Peters, who I didn't know, he's a Rumble coach. And he said, oh, we're looking to sponsor some athletes. Really excited and seeing your result and seeing your races. You fancy joining us? Like, you do realise I'm 38 years old, I've got 4 children, and I've never raced OCR in my life. And it's like, yeah, that's what's exciting. You love it, it's really good. So yeah, that I never looked back really. That was the birth of OCR for me at 38 years old. And yeah, it just went crazy from there, really.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Start of Winter Nuts. Of all the races, Winter Nuts, and still want to race as well. For me, Winter Nuts is just like I don't want to race anymore. Race with anything they put you into it, which is incredible.
Yeah, I think I always chase kind of how far I can push my body. Like everyone knows that I've just come out of ECM, and I love seeing how far I can push my body. I think that's what's exciting about OCR, that it's never get boring. There's every race, and there's so many different options, and there's always a new challenge. And I just think it's really exciting to see kind of how you can push your body and what you can do. I know you guys do. I think.
Yeah, no, that is good. I think obviously my first adult race was also nuts, but I think I did summer. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
it's quite a good race to get into because it's got all of the aspects in it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a really true British OCR, isn't it? And now they've added on some technical elements to it, which is great. But yeah, it will always have my heart, actually. Nuts, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll go on again. I've got
On
all
a
the
roll.
questions today,
Yeah.
Lou.
You've got
I
all
was
the
like
questions.
typing them down. So obviously you've said you've had 4 kids and everything. Obviously 2 of them absolutely love the sport. So what is it like training, but having to help them train as well?
So if you'd asked me that question 6 months ago, I would have been like, they're just getting on, they're just doing their thing. They're young enough that they just come along, they have a laugh, they're racing. But as you guys know, we've been training for 2 weeks now. We've all qualified this year to go to the Worlds together. And it's been a pretty tough 6 months, if I'm really honest. Yeah, kind of deciding late that we were going to go, but knowing that there was going to be some championship races on the cards. And yeah, George is a law unto himself. And so you kind of have to pave the way and leave things and give him options. And if he does it great. If he doesn't, he doesn't. With his ADHD and his autism and his challenges going on with him, he has a very certain way of training. Henry is incredibly determined and so focused and will just chomp at the bit and want to do stuff all the time. And then there's obviously I've got kind of 15 hours a week of own training as well. So it's slightly insane in my house. I have to plan it for military operation, as I'm sure you guys do too. But yeah, have respect for your mums because it's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last 2 months we've had to really plan it like a military operation, and I've had to definitely join them a lot more on runs like that and put George on a bike. And he's been coming out with me on my long runs, but he's been on a bike, and then Rich's been dropping Henry off halfway round, so he's only doing half of the distance. And we've just been logistically managing it like that, really. Obviously making sure that they're doing stuff that's really age appropriate. They're not lifting and stuff yet, so when I do my lifting sessions, I try and get them doing more mobility. And it's a bit of a juggle, but there's so many amazing venues around the country and so many awesome coaches that even though kind of they're still really young and they're undersized, you can just rock up and do a 2-3 hour session PT barn or rumble racing or true function or anywhere. You're getting an amazing session at that age. That's all they really need. So the only time it gets to be hard is when, like this morning, I have to get them to the 2 hours away to their training session, and I've got to get up and get my training done in the morning. And sometimes it can be a job, but I love it. It's you know what it's like. It's part of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you say that as well. I was looking on Instagram, and you had a session. I think was it 6 a.m. this morning? Was it? I saw.
Yeah, I was. I went and did my thresholds at 6 a.m. and then got straight on the bike to do my altitude training. I'm hypoxia training for California in October. And then I literally got straight home, threw as much food as possible down all of us so they can then come and do a 2-hour session down at food function. I think the fueling thing, really weirdly, is the thing that's blowing my brain at the moment. I guess you guys probably find this as well. Like you're teenagers, you eat all the time. But yeah, making sure that they're fed properly and they've got decent food, especially when we're traveling around the country. Like some days we're in the car for 4 or 5 hours and they're training for 3 hours in the middle of that, and trying to make sure they're eating properly as well as then me fueling to get back for a second evening session. And yeah, I think that's one of the big things. And yeah, fueling, and big hats off to all the mums out there fueling their kids this summer.
Yeah, I think my mum obviously my mum's plays a big part in my sport because she helps me so much, but she's nagging at me a minute to get proper fueling because obviously when I'm at school I have my lunches and my mum helps me do my lunches, so I have the right amount of calories and all of that in it so I can get everything I need. But now I'm at home and my mum's going to work now and my dad's got his new job, so he's off for like 2 days, 3 days max. I'm fueling myself. Like tonight, I'm gonna make my mum's out with my nan, and it's a little thing they have to do is to keep my nan happy. And I think so. My dad's at work, so I'm making dinner for me and my sister tonight. But I know how to do that because I've been taught from a young age what fuel I need, and I think obviously you showing George and Henry that as well is going to help them in the future.
Yeah, I think it's really, really important, and we're really lucky we've got companies like Enduro Sports, Boom, people like that coming through. But they're still, they're not meals, they're not foods. And yeah, there's good stuff on the go, but actually, even just making sure that the meals. I've had to up Henry's protein. He's so lean at the moment. He's just trying to get enough food into your body's so important when you're growing, and not falling into the trap of having big fizzy calorific sports drinks and stuff that they just don't need, getting enough decent. It's a minefield for mums, but important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you touched on before about such a crazy schedule as well, everything fitting in. What is that like? Do you get used to it, or is it always quite tough and difficult to keep this up? Everything so scheduled, all times organised, pretty much to perfection. Is that quite an easy task after a while, or is it hard to maintain?
You definitely get really used to it. I know you guys use kit bricks as well, but that is genuinely keeps me so organised. We have 2 kit bricks each, and they're always laid out empty, pretty much in like an area in the house. And then whatever we're doing the next day, kit brick for each child, fuel in, kit in, change of clothes in, whatever they're going to play with in the car or whatever journey we're doing. And it just becomes part of, I do it, and so I do it for them as well. I think the hardest packing is definitely Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Trying to pack for essentially 8 races for the 3 of us, fuel for each of those races, as well as working out, obviously, with George's sensory stuff and his autism, and making sure he's got the foods that I know he'll eat before the race. And with the humidity and the potential thunderstorms, making sure we've got the right kit. Yeah, the packing's not looking too good at the moment, but
yeah,
it does just become part of it's like a job. It's basically like having another job, but that's okay because I'd rather they were doing that than
Yeah. So we've been trying to pack for Costa Rica as well, and we've been quite tight and not paid for any extra luggage or anything. And
oh my gosh,
yeah, and 2 kit bricks put together is the smallest tiny bit over their allowed limit for things. So we've had to
who are you flying with? Because I've managed to get my kit brick on my back, double kit brick zipped up as hand luggage before.
We're with United Airlines, so we're hoping we've got.
Yeah, do you know what you need to do? Take the straps off.
Yeah,
this is tried and tested because they made me put it in the little holder, and the woman was saying, no, it has to go right in. So I literally unclipped the straps, put them around me like a belt, and pushed it in, and she went, "Okay, go." So yeah, take the strap off.
Dear. I think it was on the way to Scotland for Tartan Warrior. I had a kit brick and it was a little bit over and I was really worried. So I literally put it round my front. I had a coat over and I had like a massive belly and just to hide it. I was like, not even gonna let them stop me. I put it in, ran past. But yeah, it's gonna be tough, especially like say the unpredictable weather of Costa Rica.
So impressed that you're going to Costa Rica for a week with just your kit brick. That is smart packing.
Yeah.
It's like I love how you do that.
Normally just deodorant and one vest.
Normally that's me and my mum. We always take, but I normally have like a carry-on suitcase as well. But for America, my nan has brought us the biggest suitcase you could possibly find, and my mum's like, "We're taking it because obviously it's the 10-year anniversary, so the merch is going to be so much more." So my mum's like, "We're bringing it because I'm not wanting to sit on your suitcase."
You're very much brilliant.
Yeah,
I love how this is like how we plan our lives, like how we're going to get our kit to different countries, and it's exciting. Like it must be cool for you guys, like at the age you are, to know that you're so good in the sport and you can travel around the world and the people you're going to meet. Like it must be exciting, right?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. I think mainly because you get to see new places, and normally like when people normally talk, "Oh, I'm going to this place," and they're normally like in their like early adulthood when they've like just finished school. I think being in school still, I think it's quite nice because it means I can have my little break from school. And I think, yes, I take schoolwork with me to do, so I'm on top of it still. but it's nice to have that little break. And I think with my dyslexia as well, I find it so much harder to focus and make sure and not get too stressed about it. So I think for me, having these little travel bits is quite nice.
I think this sport and the opportunity that offers you and travel is school of life. Like, it's so important, and 100%. I am behind obviously the school system. You've got to do it, but especially with having a child who has come out of mainstream system and go into a special needs school, they are so supportive of him going off and having time to do the support, and it's changed George's life. It's made him such a different person than he was when he was, being forced into a square box and being told he had to just study. And this is all part of who you become. If you're good at sport, thrive in it and go and take those opportunities. It's really exciting. And I think your sports are all quite supportive as well, aren't they?
Yeah. They are good.
I'm going for a little flashback now, and this is before I properly did OCR. I did it when I was very young, but not professionally. This is back when I was in primary school, year 4, and we almost moved to. I know this is way back now, but we almost moved to Australia.
Way back.
Yeah,
just like
for me, way back.
So
I mean,
can we not go there with how long ago it was, Billy? Because I was probably, about 30.
Oh, but
We're
basically,
going to go to Australia.
yes, we almost moved at one point. So we had 3 months out there planned, just to see what it's like as a real big tester. But the issue was, because of school, you couldn't be out of school for that long legally. So we spoke to head teacher, and he was absolutely amazing. He said a part of education is life, going out, seeing the world. That is educating yourself. He said, we'll just say it's an everyday. Bam, I've got to go out there because I'm a head teacher, because of the school, because that's completely not wrong either. Being educated is being out in the world, learning out in an environment. Exactly what OCR does. Be able to go to these different places and explore.
Especially when you finish school, you're all going to have different things that you excel in that make you who you are. And you're not everyone is going to be a professor or a scientist. You guys might actually get the chance to be professional athletes. That's really exciting. And even if you're learning this amazing skills and this amazing education from you. You guys are amazing human beings. You are both.
Thank you. So obviously, I keep saying it. I've said it. I got picked up this. Every podcast I say obviously so many times, and I was saying this to Finn before we started. I was like, I'm gonna try my best to not say it.
Yeah.
But I think I can't just go in this habit now. You tell us about how you've got your training facility and all of that. Like, how did that come to your mind, and what made you go forward with it?
So I was training adults in strength and conditioning and running in my back garden. Basically, didn't have anywhere. And I used to go to the local pool after I had the kids and coach mums. And I had a crash. All the old ladies in the local village looked after the kids, and I trained the mums. It was always a real passion of mine. Which always says I have a secret thought. I had however many children I had, whatever I did, I'd always find a way to get out running. Even if I had a double buggy and I had both of them in it, and I would train no matter. And I know not everybody has that mindset or has the opportunity to do that. And I really, really wanted to do for mums to train. So we had a crash, and it was really successful. And then lockdown hit. So I was trying to do it from my garden and reach as many people as I could. And eventually, I just had to kind of homeschool the kids, and it all fell through. So when we came out of lockdown, Rich and I talked a lot about how we'd love to have our own training facility and if we could make it possible. And he found a polytunnel on a farm, Hotus Farms, near where we live in. And it's basically 33 metres long, 17 metres wide, and it was just gravelled underneath, and it had just basically a roof over it. And we went and spoke to the farmer, and he's now renting it to us. And we brought in bulldozers and tarmackers, and we astroturfed it, and we did it all ourselves. And it was exactly a year ago now we opened. And one of the biggest drives behind that, I wanted fitness and I wanted OCR to combine, and I didn't want to build a gym because I think I didn't want any mirrors in there. I just wanted a community hub where people can go and just do something different, train and be strong, have people around them that all. Basically, my motto is all fitness levels welcomed, respected and challenged. And that's really important to me. And George and Henry were a huge drive behind that because George couldn't access the sports. He had been pushed out of PE and any sport at school from such a young age because he just couldn't cope with it. He got to the point in rugby where, because of his sensory needs, he couldn't be touched, so he was running away from the ball, which kind of wasn't, what you need to do in rugby. OCR just was his thing. And I was like, there must be so many kids out there like George, not necessarily completely neurodiverse, not necessarily on the spectrum or have any particular needs, but there must be so many kids out there that aren't doing sport because they just don't quite fit the mainstream box. And so, yeah, we built the tunnel and we built rigs and we put up scaffold and we put in some ninja stuff. And I now coach about 70 juniors every week. They've taken part in nuclear. They're going to come to Nuts in September. Some of them have done the British champs. I've got some, they are literally from all walks of life. Girls and boys, teenagers as well. I do strength and conditioning. They can come in, they can just be who they want to be. They don't have to follow, any particular rules apart from safety, obviously. But I'm very, very free flow with my sessions, very inclusive. And it's been amazing. Having the best time doing it.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And like you say, the British champs, I remember Swanbourne, British champs there. I just saw
the Green Army.
Yes, just the neon
They all just
green,
like went.
That was the moment where I just turned to Rich and just said, "We've done that. We've actually done that." And the kids just, that feeling, seeing them running over that hill was just incredible. They had the best time. I just think, if kids can be out there doing it and not realizing that they're off the screen, they're having fun, they're running, they're jumping in, they're swinging. It's just brilliant. I love it. I love seeing all you guys racing.
Yeah, and I think when I was marching with Emmy, the amount of them that ran past, and even though they couldn't come through the water down the slide, with the biggest smiles on their face, and I think for me and Emmy, that kind of just like went, this is why this sport is so good, because of how many the younger generation love it and just have the biggest smiles on their faces.
Yeah, even though they're pushing really hard, the run is broken up by, the coolest activities, right? Who doesn't want to run through? Who doesn't want to jump over a wall? Who doesn't want to slide down a slip and slide? Who doesn't want to swing through monkey bars? All the stuff that kids want to do that we now do as adults as well. But and they get to do it in the middle of a race, and it's just brilliant. Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's good. So you get to see so many kids fall in love with the sport. How does that make you feel, seeing the amount of juniors that are coming into the sport?
It makes me really excited for the sport and for them. Like I said, my passion has been very much trying to reach kids that probably wouldn't be doing a lot of sport if they haven't found this. I think that's really important to me. I've got a strong girls club, and lots of them at the sort of get to age 10, 11, 12, a lot of girls are dropping out of sport. And I know it's something that lives as well. Not everyone has to sweep the floors like us, and they keep going. You hit puberty and start to drop out, you get comments made, or they find other things. And so I do a strong girls club for 9, 10, 11-year-olds. And then it switches into a strength and conditioning with a blend of OCR, so they can continue training with me, but we work on like foundations and training as well as a bit of OCR. And it's been really, really successful. I've got brilliant girls of literally all walks of life who were not doing sport at school. And they come in, and some of them can literally stand on a box and hold a bar. Obviously, they're doing other stuff, but I'm talking about the actual rig work. And by the end of the term, I had this one girl who she could make 3 rigs, 3 scaffold runs with my bar. And she came up and she said, "This is the best day of my life." She said, "Everyone told me that I'd never be able to do it." And she's quite a big girl, and she'd never been picked for school teams and things like that. And she'd just come in with her own little goal, her own little place she wanted to be, and she felt amazing. And that just makes me so happy. I love seeing them achieving. And I think trying to keep girls in sport is a big thing. Trying to reach kids who are not necessarily doing, like I said, mainstream sports, just having fun. Like, you guys continue your sport because you love it and have fun, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is definitely what OCR hopefully will bring to the. And it's important we look at the fun and the mass participation, not just the 12 of you guys that are awesome and going to all the championship races. I think that's what I want. I want my community team, and I want them all to be able to access this sport for fun, not just competition.
Yeah.
Lifelong love of sport, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
like you say,
So much.
it's incredible
Sorry.
because like when we come on here, like we always talk about like probably the main races, the main athletes who they did like in terms. I'm going to say the word they did well in terms of first, second, third, but so many people did well in their own way by completing, by even just running, by completing the course. And we'd love to say that even more. But the thing is, if we talk about everyone who's so amazing, it'd be like a 6-hour long podcast. There's so many people out there, especially the youth, who are absolutely incredible, like you say, and it really is like the sport fills me with such hope. And I think especially since doing this podcast, I see it even more and more. Like it's incredible sport with such a future, like you say, and everyone's loving it. Everyone enjoys it. I mean, these kids race because they love it. They pour their heart and soul into it, and it is absolutely incredible to see, and gives you such hope for the future. How amazing it could be.
I think we have to remember as well that it is super important to say well done to the 1, 2, 3s. You know, I mean, Henry, you know, this is Hogan, which is brilliant. Actually, I've also got the other end of the spectrum. George will come last in most races, but it doesn't mean that he's not working as hard. He's not having the best time. He's not loving it, and he's not achieving just as much as Henry is standing in that podium. And I think as a sport grows, we have to make sure that we realise that it's to grow the sport. There has to be that real celebration of everybody doing sport, because actually you don't know that the child at 8 years old who's coming last is not going to completely change his body, change his development, change how he's training, and at the age of 16 be absolutely flying, representing for us in the Olympics. We don't know that, right?
Yeah,
it's super important that we just these guys are doing OCR brilliant. Let's have some fun.
I'm gonna go into a little story now and come up for the Olympics. I'm gonna release my Colchester pride and my Colchester Harriers pride. Charlie Dobson took a bronze medal in the 4x400 meter men's relay at the Olympics when he was my age. He was about my 800 meter time, and at the club he wasn't even, I think, 400, 800. He wasn't A string, he wasn't B string. He was a non-scorer most of the time. Sometimes he was B string, but he wasn't even that number one spot. And you look at him, he doesn't look especially sporty, but he kept pushing, he kept driving, and he was at the Olympics. 400 meter in the Olympics, got to the semi-finals, got to the Olympic team, bronze. And it just shows so quickly you can change. You put that effort in and grow and expand. And the ceiling, there is no ceiling, and that's just the fact.
Exactly that, 100%. And I think it's so important for us to carried away in our little bubble. Oh, you know, Henry's really good and George isn't, or you know, that's not the case. But I'm just saying it's really right, kids off really early, and that's what I find with a lot of school systems. If you go to secondary school and if you haven't done netball on the A team and you're not a dancer, you're not in the squad, you can't at the age of 11 you can't not introduce new sports to children, and that's what's really cool. I think we've got the opportunity with OCR, especially being Boston sport, to really get a lot of children involved. And if they end up going off and doing running or doing gymnastics, that doesn't matter. But get them young and get them enjoying it, get them out, not thinking about sports.
Yeah, and I think George and Henry show a great perspective of that, because George is obviously, he's not like towards the top, but the dedication he has to complete it and do it on his own is amazing. And then Henry, you like Henry, watching Henry when he first started doing training and to where he is now, just shows because he's had that much dedication to it, he's improving, but he's not going like rapidly from to bottom straight to top. You can see him taking them steps.
What I think is really cool as well about OCR with juniors is that there's so many aspects to it. So I've got kids in my tunnel that go, oh, but I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, but you can go along that balance. You can carry 10 kilogram sandbag already faster than anyone in this tunnel. While that person's flying over those monkey bars, you're going to have smashed out a sandbag carry, and they're going to be worn out by that sandbag carry, and you're going to get to the monkey bar. And it's a really leveling sport. And I think as a child, that's really important. That they all realize that they've got different skills. Some of them can fly up the ropes and do the most amazing rope locks. Some of them, not a chance, but they can fly. They can do a dead hang for 15 minutes. And I love that they can all celebrate those different elements in each other. And it's really leveling, because no one goes, oh, you're stupid, you can't do that, because there's something they can and can't all do. And that's really cool about sport as well, I think.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to the competitions as well, you can see them pushing each other, because one of them will push to get in front and one of them will drop behind, but then they can push back up on the other one. And it's always like one of them battles that is like backwards and forwards. And I think juniors like that as well. They like to have that battle against each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you look at the British Championships, what was really exciting and really well done about that was that we were rewarding obstacle completion. And I know there are different types of racing, and that's the great thing, that kids can choose different races that suit them. But the British Championship should have been an overall showcase of obstacles. Actually, Henry won that because he completed all the other cuts and he didn't have to go into the penalty. And I think other ones seeing that, they've gone away and gone, right, we need to work on this, and this. Because if we'd have completed that obstacle, we would have come first or second. And I think that's really cool, because they go away and they work on those skills. And it doesn't always come down just to running or just to strength. And yeah, it gives them a bit of fuel in their belly. And George is excited about 100 metres. He's been breaking down those elements. So he's got his own little thing he's doing. It's just so much. There's so much scope and so many different types of children.
Yeah, like Finn, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? About how juniors, they always look at the side of, there's always people that look at the side of, oh, if I did this, I could have done this better. What happens if I did this? Or what happens if I do this? And we were saying how it's good for them to do that, but it's also good for them to look at, okay, I've done this well.
Yeah, I think that's really important, and I think that's something I as an adult don't do enough. I said to Rich just last night, I came away from the World Championship in Gale with a bronze in the 3K, like third in the world at my age, and I didn't even really acknowledge it. I did it, I went home, and I cracked on with my training and looked at the next thing. And sometimes we don't just go, oh, what have I achieved? What have I just done? And I think that's really, really important. It's something I'm really, really careful about. Classes at the end of the session, we come together and go, what happened that was great today? What was one thing you did that you couldn't do last week? Right, and now tell me what you couldn't do that you want to work on next week. And I think being able to evaluate and look at what you've actually achieved, because otherwise we just get in this constant, I've got to be better, I've got to do this, I've got to be better, I've got to be better. And that's not good for your mental health. So yeah, like exactly like you say, we have to, and I think we've got a really good opportunity in the sport to celebrate so many good things about what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And what I will say as well, because the sport is so young, it evolves so quickly. And you look at these juniors, they do look so not just physically strong, but mentally strong, be able to think positively as well. It's incredible. It does honestly blow my mind. Looking back to myself at that age, I don't know if I ever could have been able to think and process the sport like they do. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you do have to be quite smart. They've got some great role models in the sport. I think, from you guys right up to, Laura Haywood, Louise, like, older racers all the way through. And because we're such a close community, the juniors have got a real opportunity to see what is going on, what's available to them. Yeah, we are. Great community.
Yeah. And like you say, they're pushing each other on, and that's exactly what we need, because you look at the adults, Dan Titcone's been ahead for a while, and you look at British champs, Tommy came along, I think, and yeah, bam, competition, those two battling 1 second apart. And you look at the juniors, when they're like this, so many of them so close, that's going to force them to push and push and push, and they make each other better and better. And that's exactly what we're seeing. It's to make the sport so much more special, so much better, such a high quality, and it's been really exciting.
I think we just have to make sure we look after them all, like, with their mental health as well. Not in like a really like bad way, like the pressure, but actually we were looking, Cameron and Henry obviously both going out to the world, and I was chatting to Emily yesterday about managing them, with their really good friends. They love training together, they respect what each other does. They're going to be on a start line at the age of 10 and 12 against each other in a world championship, probably in the same way. And it's making sure that, we help them as juniors to manage that. One of them is going to be disappointed, both of them, because you just don't know. Even just going onto a world stage is hard, but also, battling your best mate. It's something me and Tamar do all the time. We're really good mates, but we're also, rivals on that start line. So all of that comes into it, doesn't it? You've got to, as juniors, kind of, you two are brilliant at that, because you've grown up. Actually, there wasn't many juniors, was there? So you've actually got to go to the adults. I know Livy and I have had a rivalry for a while. I think you've probably done me now. But...
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you talk about mentally as well on such a big stage. I think for me, the first Italian Euros, in the UK at the time. I was doing quite well, so a big like confidence coming into it, and I went to that 3K and I was racing people I hadn't raced for, obviously, because my first Europeans, people from across Europe, and
It was
I went
so
out
hot
there.
as well.
It was. I don't know how to describe it to this day, that race, because I lost all 3 bands, and it was just like that, done. And mentally, I was gone, because I'd never had that happen before in a race. I'd never been that type of 3 band system race, but to fall off like that, and I still don't know what happened. Did it get into my head or not? And you've just got to let it go and focus on the future, because even to this day, like, I sometimes think, am I going into obstacles too quickly, rushing them, risking losing a band? Or am I going too slow, losing the pack? I don't know if I've lost a bit of obstacle confidence since then. All the way back those years ago, I've lost a bit of obstacle confidence because I'm not sure about losing a band, I'm afraid. But the thing is, you've got the people around you as well, like I said, the community, not just in the UK. After that race, those people I just met, a lot of the Dutch, like Dayan, I spoke
That's brilliant.
and I'm great mates with them now. So you go to Hang On in the Netherlands. I've met them in Belgium, and now community is not just in the UK for us; it's basically worldwide, pretty much. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So
I think that is just. It actually gives me goosebumps you saying that, because I'm so excited and feel so appreciative that hopefully my boys have got that ahead of me, and they're literally like, yeah, they're worldwide. They're going to have people they can go. I'm going to get on a plane and go and see the Hang On guys when I'm 18 and go and race and run with them. Like, you guys can have. You can go and climb a mountain out in America, because you've got 3 of the US team that you know. That's so cool to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And this sport is giving us that opportunity. It's
yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, absolutely, again, I'm gonna say it so many times now. But there's so many role models for the juniors to look up to, and I think for me, when I was younger, having the dream of running with the 2 top females in the world and being able to do that, I think it's one of them things that it's like a dream. You don't see it ever coming. And I think for the junior as well, it's having the role models for them to look up to, and then them role models talking to the juniors like, oh, well done at your race. It's kind of like one of them things of like the juniors going, oh my God, they've just spoken to me. They've seen me race. I think it's good to have that as well. I think
it
for
puts
some
fire in the
adults,
belly. Yeah, it put fire in the belly, and I think that was really special about this championship. That all of the adult community, the adult elite racers, we'd all raced in the morning, and we all came back out on course, marshaled and supported the juniors. That's incredible. Like, what sport do you go out and on the same day, your whole of your elite adult field is out there supporting the juniors? Like, that's amazing, and that's what we get at this junior, at World and European Championships. I'm going to an elite obstacle course racing World Championships with my 2 children, and we're all competing on the same weekend. Like, that's the coolest thing on the planet. Like, I can't believe that. That's the only reason. I'd love to retire. But, I'm really honest. There are days where I'm like, do I need to keep doing this? Yes, I absolutely do. For that very reason, because my juniors, when I come home into my tunnel and they say, how was summer holiday? And I'm like, yeah, I've been out and done this. And they're like, that's so cool, tell us about it. And they get a little bit of fire in their belly, and that's what they want to do. They, it's not just a pie in the sky dream. It's a real possibility that they could represent the country in this sport in 5, 6, 7 years' time. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at it now.
Sorry, I'm going to find this sense. There's lots of beats going on.
That's fine. We've had technical difficulty. I can't speak now. I've lost my voice now. We've had technical difficulties on here plenty of times in the past. Just like that one, for example, right there. Me not be able to speak, but
what you guys are doing is brilliant. So thank you for what you're doing. Just talking about the juniors. Great.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't have the words, but I say it a lot, but I really don't have the words how incredible it is. I mean, you look at sports like football or rugby, and of course they've got leagues and stuff from young ages to obviously like things like the Premier Leagues. Obviously, there's prize money on huge levels. There's competition, but forget about that for a second. In OCR, no matter what team you are, and obviously in football, there's things like World Cups, etc. But in OCR, there's teams, but yet we're also united in helping each other and expanding. In other sports, you wouldn't see that. Teams hide things with each other. They cover up tactics, and obviously, once again, OCR is very different. but the community has this incredible like unity between it, no matter what team you race from, no matter what you're going through. Even you race each other on the start line, like you say, between you and Tamar, it's always that closeness no matter what, and it's incredible. And you say about the Olympics as well, of course, LA 28, it's going to be a part of the pentathlon, but for all we know, Brisbane 32 could be its own sport, and then Olympics beyond.
And this is the thing. Olympic dreams really could get real. But I think even if they don't, our sport is growing, especially. And it, yes, we will talk about the funding side of it. That's trivial, but that will come in time if we get recognised. But I just think as a group of people doing what we're doing right now, keep doing it. It's keep doing it.
Yeah. And going back to when we first started racing, Finn, the start lines. I was looking at pictures the other day on my mum's phone. There was three females, me, Maddie Waring, and Izzy, and that was it for the females. And then for the males, there was like 5. And I think when we look, and this is for the competitive wave, and if we look at that competitive wave now, the amount of juniors, females and males that we've got on that start line at any race is just, I like how it's changed. It's grown so much. I think it would have been helpful for us growing up, I think, if we had more juniors to compete against. But I think I always say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
From it starting off so small to it growing now, it's happened for a reason. I think it's a very good reason that it's happened. And I think if it keeps growing, it's going to be such a fantastic sport.
Yeah, definitely. I feel really excited to be a small part of it. I think like yesterday we were at Wild Forest training, Tamar and juniors, and we started filming a little promo from what is those kids that you saw some of the bloopers. It's hilarious. But just getting people to understand and know what the sport is and what we're doing. Just quite often people think, what do you do? I'm an obstacle racer. A horse racer? No, not a horse racer. An obstacle course. And unless you say Ninja Warrior, they have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
I need a little sheet to hold up and say, this is what I do, especially when you go through the airport and the kit. But actually, what better than for the juniors to have that voice and say what it means to them, what it is. So I think we're going to try and interview as many juniors as possible, say little snippets. What is OCR to you? What is this all about? Just try and get more children involved in more than just Spartan kids, which that's amazing. That's a great foundation to start with. It's like a massive participation, but getting juniors really out there racing.
Yeah,
probably the longest episode on the planet.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I don't know actually. I think Emmy's and Matt was quite long.
Yeah,
because we had both of them on at the same time, so I think that was quite a long one.
I mean, it's certainly been productive, hasn't it? I mean, this is all the things that are very true that we need to hear and need to be out there. Really, this is what people need to know, especially the juniors themselves as well, to be able to understand this, and hopefully they can understand this, how incredible they actually are, and the potential, everything. It is so exciting, and I'm still racing. I'm still very young, but there's gonna be a point where I'm just gonna get some popcorn and just enjoy watching this grow incredibly.
Finley, I'm 43 and I say that every year. It's going to happen, mate. You're still going to be doing this when I'm in my wheelchair. Don't you start talking like that.
I'll tell you what, I'm still here for one reason. That's because I absolutely love it, and I see no way that's ever changing. So as long as that stands, which I think it will for a very, very long time, people will be forced to see me.
Just remember the parents. Just remember the parents out there getting used to all those races, Finley. Getting you out there.
I'll have to, very much so.
Our dedication to you all.
Yeah.
Obviously getting driver's license soon. I've got no excuse now to be taken to places and to sleep.
You'll just be asking for petrol money.
Yes, I will be. I'll be just like, can we go
to I've already been asked by Jess, can you take me to a race, please? I was like, I will, but I will probably murder you from how much stress you'll put on me. And then I was like, thinking back, I'm like, my mum is going through the same thing, and I think
that is one of the hardest things, is when you've got to be at a race at like 7 a.m. start, and you've got to get the kids up at 4 and get your bags in the car. Like, that is one of the hardest logistical things for parents. I know your mum does that all the time. But we wouldn't have it any other way.
No,
Mm.
I think my mum, she does like watching me and Jess love the sport. And I think when you watch the adults, watch the juniors, I think it's quite good because the juniors are so competitive in their own way, so competitive on themselves and with each other. I think it is quite a good thing to like watch. I think from racing adults now and this weekend, I think played a big part. So obviously I raced this weekend and I did my series race and then I went out on the women's wave. And I
Yeah, the
think,
empowerment.
yeah, and I think not having the junior race was weird because I'm used to going and watching the junior races. And I think it was a little bit weird not having it and not seeing all the juniors there. I think
My
was
bank account was really happy there wasn't a junior race this weekend.
yeah, so I
But yeah,
think it was a bit obviously like you had like Harry and Riley and Jess and all of them like that. But I think not seeing obviously you there, Lou, and Henry and George, and then the
we needed a
Youngs. I
week.
think yeah, I think everyone needed it. I think it was a little bit weird not having them there.
Yeah, that comes part of what we do. That there's all the races on the same day, and we all there, and that is what's really special.
Yeah, and it's a part of the community as well. That without that bit there, it feels very odd. That's the thing. So yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Well, the next time I see you, Finley, will be in Costa Rica,
Yes, yeah. That's. So what
and
are your
then probably
opinions of
see
that so
you at
far?
Nuts maybe.
I won't be at Nuts.
Oh, where are you going, Fraser?
It's my first ever race missing Nuts. I've never missed a Nuts before.
Wow.
Yeah, they put the 3K in the afternoon, so it looks like it's going
Yeah.
to be tricky for all of
So
us.
no, I'm in Croatia doing the
Oh,
Spartan
wow.
That'd be amazing.
series. And then
We'll go and get some points for
America.
Rumble. Oh yes, see you in California.
Yes.
Very
I'm
nice.
I'm ready for that race.
Mm.
I'm the amount of mental training I've done for it. And I think this is another thing for juniors to understand as well. I've had a lot of mental training right now. I think the amount of time is not all the time. I have this year, I think I've seen the proper side of losing it mentally. I think being in not Morzine, I lost it in Morzine, like not proper badly. I managed to keep going, but I lost it mentally. Each year at Mammoth last year, and then Stratton the year before, I lost it on both them years.
Yeah,
So I think having that this year to properly think about it on the mental side of it has helped a lot.
Mm.
So
I think that's really important. Like you're only human, right? And I think that's something I'm really mindful of with my two kids. That even though we say, "Oh, it's fun," you're only doing what you do. We're not pushing parents. We will support you in what you want to do. But actually, you're very, very pushy with yourself. Very, very hard on yourself. And especially letting him know that in you to how hard you work. Really, you're the same. Disappointment is great and it's all part of life. But managing that at a higher level sport is really hard. And your guys are really young. We have to make sure, as part of our growth in the sport and part of our being coaches, that we have to help you guys with that.
Yeah.
I know you've got a great support network and you've got people with you, and I need to make sure I'm doing that with my kids and my community. It's something we have to be really mindful of because the mental side of it is so important.
and not to be like mean to my mom or anything, I think having obviously Graham's helped me a lot, and I mean a lot. Having him helping me and Jack as well, telling me, okay, this was really good, but what went well for you and where do you want to go with it? And I think having them, not anything against my mom at all, but having them ask me, I think really put my mind to it. And I think with the junior as well, for like obviously my sister doesn't come to me that much because she knows she goes to other people like Tamar, for example, and I can't think of that, but she goes mostly to Tamar and asks Tamar, okay, what can I do here? And I've had Izzy, Riley, Sophie, Henry all come to me like, okay, I've done this. Now, how else can I do this to make it quicker? And I remember at Rumble, we were at the training and Henry was like, okay, I want to go quicker. but how can I do this? And there was multiple ways that you can do it. But I think the juniors asking other people, how can I do this? What's the best way to do it? I think for them is really good as well, for them to have the confidence to ask other people.
Peer learning is so important. I mean, we spend every session in the IQ tunnel when we train the juniors. I spend 10 minutes every session. Like, they just go out and they watch each other and they talk to each other. And if I know that I've got a kid who's really good, George is great at that, who actually can coach, explain it to another child better than I can, because he knows how he's found the class, because his feet are just the size of mine, and he's really different. Like, they peer learn, they peer coach. I think that's really important, even from a young age. Like, that you guys can absolutely help each other. We need to trust the coaches to let you do that and give you the freedom to do it. I think, I love it. I love watching my juniors. I sometimes sit back and just watch, and the chat and the communication and the observational learning that they're getting from each other. They, you have to have space and freedom to do that. And so that's really special.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Finn.
I'm going to have to go really soon, guys. I'm going to pick up this place from next door. Sorry, so finish off it.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly, go back to what you said about the stress and the pressure before, and I want to compare it to some, I'm going to say the word, more major sports. You look on like the Olympics, for example, like you watch football, say on the TV versus watching at a live game, it's very different. And that's the same with athletes as well. Watching on the TV is very different. You see it on the TV, you don't treat them as athletes, you treat them as entertainment, I think, a lot of the time. You're watching to enjoy it, and you kind of forget that they are human, and it's only major moments where it changes that. For example, Simone Biles at Tokyo 2020, things like that is when you only realise these athletes are human, and it's very hard to watch that when you're just sitting at home looking on a screen, and it takes time to really think about it and process it, not just as an athlete yourself, but other athletes, and watching athletes, it's really hard to put yourself in the mindset and be there, especially like how difficult that can be. For example, like say Simone Biles, or maybe
We have to definitely protect you guys, from your age down. 100%. We have to do a lot of we have to make sure that you're mindful of looking after everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm out of questions now.
Yeah, I think
I've gone through them all, but thank you so much for coming on, Lou. I think
thanks, guys.
I think for juniors, I think having someone, not a junior, talk about, I've done this race and this race, an adult telling, obviously juniors listening, about ways that are able to help and what it's like growing up and everything. So I think this was a very, very good podcast, and I'm very happy that we've done it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. And just make sure all the juniors out there keep having fun. It's so important. Don't take things so seriously that you end up not loving what you're doing. Go out there, have some fun, work hard, and eat well.
Yeah. But yeah, I think juniors, if you are racing competitive as well, I think have them fun races. Go out for fun. Like this weekend, I went out for the fun.
Yeah.
And I think you need that fun race to carry on loving the sport.
Yeah.
And come to the IQ tunnel. Come and visit me.
Yeah. I need to come as well, so
yes.
Come see what it is.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing quickly? And I think we need to do this before it's too late, because Louise, now had a chance to apologise for the fact that you're one of the parents who put a lot of money out their pocket, convincing children to go to more races. We say it's a lot on the podcast. Haven't had a chance to officially apologise to any of the parents who've been telling to spend a lot of money. So we're sorry we're bursting the budget at points of races.
Yeah.
We can't help that.
It's worth it though. It's worth it.
Yes, yeah.
I'd rather put money into any races than a computer game. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming on, Lou.
Thanks, guys. Good luck in the next couple of months with all your races.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is the end of this podcast. So thank you so much for everyone for listening, and it's a bye from me.
It's a bye from me, and if I could say see you in Costa Rica in Spanish, I would, but I couldn't. So it's just a bye from me.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Thank you for listening to Pint-Sized OCR, produced and presented by UK OCR. If you like what you hear, please subscribe or leave us a review. And you can even get your parents to join our Patreon train so you can get your podcasts earlier than everyone else. So alive,
make it last forever. Stop in time